all students. Now we'll continue with the development of the cardinal system, that is venous system part 2. So in this, as you all know, there were common cardinal vein in which were opening the anterior and the posterior cardinal veins. So the posterior cardinal system is augmented and then superseded by paired subcardinal and supracardinal veins. So mainly we'll be talking about these subcardinal and the supracardinal veins. So let's see. So over here, this one is the embryo, this one is the sinus venosus. It is receiving the common cardinal, the vitelline and the umbilical veins. Over here you can see. So over here, these are the right and the left anterior cardinal, and these are the posterior cardinal veins. Anterior and the posterior cardinal both will open into a common cardinal vein. So the posterior cardinal vein, these are the posterior cardinal vein, they are supplemented and later on they will be largely replaced by two additional pair of veins. So first one which will be appearing is the subcardinal veins, and later on will be the supracardinal veins. So the subcardinal veins and the supracardinal veins will be supplementing the posterior cardinal veins. Now these cardinal veins, they are draining the blood from head, neck region and the body wall of the embryo. So now you can have a better look. These were the umbilical veins, the vitelline veins, the common cardinal veins with the anterior and the posterior cardinal. Over here, the subcardinal veins they have developed. Now further, the anastomosis also developed between these subcardinal veins. So these subcardinal veins have anastomosis with the opposite side of the subcardinal vein as well as the respective side of the posterior cardinal veins. So gradually what happens, the right subcardinal vein, it loses its original connection with the posterior cardinal vein and develops a new anastomosis with the segment of enlarged right vitelline vein, which was just inferior to the heart to form a portion of inferior vena cava between the liver and the kidneys. So that was the terminal portion of the inferior vena cava. Right now over here you can see these are the purple ones. These are the supracardinal veins. They have started appearing. So gradually anastomosis will also form between these posterior cardinal veins and between the subcardinal and the supracardinal veins as well. So over here you can see, and these are the termination the posterior cardinal veins. Over here this is the transverse anastomosis between these posterior cardinal veins. So common iliac veins, they are derived from the posterior cardinal veins. Now a question is commonly asked from you all, that why left gonadal vein opens into the left renal vein unlike the right side where it directly opens into the inferior vena cava. So there is an anastomosis between the subcardinal vein. So this anastomotic channel between the subcardinal veins will form the left renal vein. So when this communication has been established, the left subcardinal vein, it will disappear. So left subcardinal vein, it starts disappearing and only its distal portion remains. So this distal portion of the left subcardinal vein is known as left gonadal vein. So that is why the left gonadal vein opens into the left renal veins. And the right subcardinal vein, it will become the main drainage channel and it develops into the renal segment of the inferior vena cava. So that is why the right gonadal vein, it will open directly into the inferior vena cava. Now the fate of the supracardinal veins. So these purple one is the supracardinal vein. So supracardinal veins, they develop in the body wall medial to the posterior cardinal vein. So these veins are draining the body wall via the segmental intercostal veins. So these are the anastomotic channels. Intercostal veins, they are the anastomotic channels with the posterior cardinal vein. So gradually these supracardinal veins, they will take over the function of the posterior cardinal veins, and they will undergo extensive remodeling during the development. So our point is of focus is mainly the development of inferior vena cava, how it is being formed. So inferior vena cava has the 6 components. So we'll start from caudal to cranial direction. So firstly is the sacrocardinal segment. This is the sacrocardinal segment is developing from the right posterior cardinal vein. Now this is a segment which is between the transverse anastomosing channel between the caudal opening of the supracardinal vein and the posterior cardinal vein. Right, so this terminal segment is known as the sacrocardinal segment, or you can also say it as a cardinal segment. Then the caudal part of the right supracardinal vein. So this purple one is the supracardinal vein only. So the caudal portion of the right supracardinal vein. So this is also this will be a supracardinal segment. Then the right supracardinal and subcardinal anastomosis. So this one is the anastomotic channel between the right and the between the supra and the subcardinal veins. Then the right subcardinal vein between the supracardinal and the subcardinal anastomosis. That is the right. This one is the subcardinal vein, blue one. It is between the supracardinal and the subcardinal anastomosis, and an anastomotic channel connecting the right subcardinal vein with the right hepatocardiac channel. So this whole is the renal segment. So you can say this was the sacrocardinal segment or the posterior cardinal vein segment. This was the supracardinal segment, and this is the subcardinal segment, which is made up of the anastomotic channel between the two, the right and the left subcardinal veins, then the right subcardinal and the right supracardinal vein, and finally a hepatocardiac channel, the anastomotic channel of the right subcardinal with the hepatocardiac channel. So this whole is the renal segment of inferior vena cava. And finally, the terminal segment, when the hepatocardiac channel, it forms a communication with the enlarged right vitelline vein to the hepatocardiac channel, that is the hepatic segment. So these are the 6 components of the inferior vena cava. So over here you can see these are the diminishing portion of the degenerating posterior cardinal vein. This is better explained over here. This is the anastomotic channel between the posterior cardinal portion. So this will disappear and it will form the right posterior cardinal vein segment or the sacrocardinal segment. Then this was the supracardinal segment portion. This was the renal segment, and finally this one is the green color one is the hepatic segment. So to summarize, the vitelline veins, they are forming right and the left portion of the inferior vena cava, hepatic veins and sinusoids, ductus venosus, that is the hepatocardiac channel, which is shunting the blood from left to right. Then the portal vein, the inferior mesenteric vein, superior mesenteric vein, and the splenic vein. So all these are derived from the vitelline veins. You get an MCQs on the derivatives of the vitelline veins. Then it is the umbilical vein. The right one degenerates early in life, whereas the left one is left will form the ligamentum teres. Then the cardinal vein, the anterior cardinal veins will form the superior vena cava, and the internal jugular vein, the proximal portion. The posterior part or the posterior cardinal vein will form the portion of inferior vena cava, that is the from a sacrocardinal segment, and the common iliac veins. Then the subcardinal veins, they will form the portion of inferior vena cava, that is the renal segment. Then the venal veins and the gonadal vein. The supracardinal vein is forming a portion of the inferior vena cava, which is caudal to the venal segment. Then the intercostal veins, the hemiazygous system, and the azygous system of veins. So you'll better understand after watching this in detail, the remodeling of the caudal venous system. So over here you can see these are the horn of the sinus venosus. These are the common cardinal vein. These are the vitelline and the umbilical vein. These are the anterior cardinal and the posterior cardinal veins. Here the posterior cardinal vein, it is the anastomotic channel between the two posterior cardinal vein, which will later on form the iliac, the common iliac veins. Now gradually what happens, they are support these posterior cardinal veins, they will be supported by a pair of subcardinal veins. So initially they will form anastomosis among themselves and also with the posterior cardinal vein. Then later on they will lose the connection with the posterior cardinal veins and they will form new anastomotic channels with the posterior cardinal vein of their own side. Then later on what happens, as the remodeling continues, they are further aided by the appearance of the supracardinal veins. So these yellow ones are the supracardinal veins. The supracardinal veins, they will form anastomosis with the posterior cardinal vein and they will take over their function. So over here you can see the supracardinal veins of both the sides they have gained a connection with the caudal segment of the posterior cardinal vein of both the sides. And further, the anastomosis is being formed at the with the posterior cardinal vein of both the sides as well as the subcardinal veins. Now, as the remodeling continues, more and more anastomosis is formed, and this subcardinal vein has gained its anastomosis with the hepatic segment or the enlarged right vitelline vein, which will form the inferior vena cava, the terminal segment. Now you can see over here, the inferior vena cava is being, the process of formation of inferior vena cava is being shown over here. So over here you can see this. These are the degenerating supracardinal system and the subcardinal system of veins. This is the anastomotic part which will be forming the left renal vein and the distal portion of this uh, subcardinal vein. The left subcardinal vein will form the left gonadal vein. This will disappear. So over here you can see the right subcardinal segment has disappeared, and now what we have left is with the sacrocardinal segment or the posterior cardinal vein segment of the inferior vena cava. This was supracardinal segment below the venal segment. Then was the anastomotic channel between the subcardinal and the right subcardinal and the right supracardinal vein. Then this was the subcardinal right subcardinal segment, which will form the renal segment. And this one terminal is the hepatic segment, in which this right subcardinal vein has gained its anastomosis with the hepatocardic channel or the ductus venosus. This will form the terminal segment of the inferior vena cava. So another system which has developed over here is the azygous and the hemiazygous system. So this azygous system is derived from the right supracardinal veins, whereas the left supracardinal vein will give rise to the hemiazygous system of vein. Then were the this is the brachiocephalic vein. So there is an anastomotic channel between two cardinal veins. So this anastomotic channel will form the left brachiocephalic vein, whereas the right brachiocephalic vein will be formed by the right posterior, right inferior cardinal vein. So this one is the left brachiocephalic. Then these are the external jugular vein. So over here you can see this one is the left gonadal vein opening into the left renal vein. The right renal vein directly opening into the inferior vena cava. So now coming back to our venous system. Now the clinical consideration, the first one is the absence of the inferior vena cava. So it arises when the right subcardinal vein, it fails to make its connection with the liver and shunts its blood directly into the right supracardinal vein. So hepatic segment uh, will not be formed and it will directly shunt its blood into the right supracardinal vein. So bloodstream from the caudal part of the body reaches the heart by the way of azygous system because it has opening into the right supracardinal vein, and the right supracardinal vein will be giving rise to the azygous system of vein. The hepatic segment will not be forming. Then is the double inferior vena cava. So when the left sacrocardinal vein, this one is the left sacrocardinal, right side and left side. So when the left sacrocardinal vein fails to lose its connection with the left subcardinal vein, so then there will be presence of double inferior vena cava because the left subcardinal vein was disappearing, only the right subcardinal vein was uh, forming a connection between the supracardinal segment, and this right subcardinal vein was forming the renal segment. So when the left sacrocardinal vein fails to lose its connection with the left subcardinal vein, there will be presence of double inferior vena cava. Now then is the formation of superior vena cava. So how the superior vena cava is formed. So here you can see this was the right horn of the sinus venosus. This is the left horn. So this one is the right common cardinal. This one is the left common cardinal. So these are the anterior and these are the posterior cardinal veins. So the first part of the superior vena cava develops from the right anterior cardinal vein caudal to an oblique transverse anastomosis. So anastomosis will appear between the two anterior cardinal veins. So the first part is developing from the right anterior cardinal vein, which is caudal to this oblique transverse anastomosis. Then the second part develops from the right, this one is the right common cardinal vein. So finally a superior vena cava, it is formed by the right common cardinal vein and the right anterior cardinal vein, it is caudal to the transverse anastomosis between the two anterior cardinal veins. This anastomotic channel is giving rise to the left brachiocephalic vein, and so this was the anterior cardinal vein. So it is giving left anterior cardinal vein is giving rise to the proximal portion of the left internal jugular and the left subclavian vein. Whereas the right side, this one is the anterior cardinal vein. So right anterior cardinal vein is giving rise to the right internal jugular vein and the right brachiocephalic vein, the proximal portion, right brachiocephalic vein. So anastomotic channel is giving rise to the left brachiocephalic vein, and the right posterior cardinal vein is right anterior cardinal vein is giving rise to the right brachiocephalic vein. Then the left superior vena cava. It is caused by the persistence of left anterior cardinal vein and the obliteration of common cardinal and the proximal part of the anterior cardinal vein. So in that case, there is a formation of left-sided superior vena cava. Then the double superior vena cava, when there is a persistence of the left anterior cardinal vein and failure of the left brachiocephalic vein to form. So when left brachiocephalic vein will not form, there will be persistence of the left anterior cardinal vein forming the double superior vena cava. That's all. This completes the venous system, and we'll start with the fetal circulation.